Good evening. Here we are again on Virtual Pool 4 online, and this is going to be the second part of a double header in streamed matches today. We're now into the next day almost. It's just coming up to midnight, and we have the second match that we've live streamed. And finally we got a match earlier tonight between Vinces and Bedhead in round 2, and we finally got a match. Vinces started off slow, lost the first 3 racks, but came back strong and proved to be too good for Bedhead and won out by 14 racks to 8 in a very good match. Good quality, good standard of safety, some good tactical battles in it, and the Vinces was definitely the stronger player, and it was a very good match to watch. So the next match we have is the one above, which is between MrBill and Romario. Romario from the UK, MrBill from the States, and that's just about to go at the top of the hour. So we're about a minute or so away from that. Other fixtures, well, we have another one, which is, I think we've just passed it, which is the one between Potman and Interchange X. And that's in the schedule for Saturday evening my time, and there's still another match in the second round to be played between Xavierix and Spectre Dawn, and Stubb is waiting on that match result for his third round opponent. VP Monster is also through, and he's waiting on the winner of Acero and Spin Master. So there's still a couple of matches to get played in round 2. And of course, with Bedhead losing to Vinces, that puts Bedhead alongside Larry as 2 of the potential winners of the tournament, you would have thought. And they're now over on the one-loss side, so they're going to have to work hard to get their way through. Oh, there's a one-loss side match fixtured as well, which is quite a ways away. That's not until September the 19th, so that is what, more than a week away, that one, so there's a while before that one will take place. But we're all set to go for the MrBill Romario match. And, well, if you haven't seen Romario, he's been a long-term virtual pool player, blows hot and cold a lot of the time. If he stays focused, which will be a big tall order, then he could certainly rattle away 2 or 3 racks. The favourite will be Bill, I've no doubt about that, but if things don't go too well for Bill, Romario is more than capable of taking his chances. It's a question of how many chances he will get and how many he will take, because, as I say, things can go wrong very quickly for Romario. I've seen an awful lot of Romario play and got a fair idea how he's going to play. He generally doesn't change. Very attack minded, but he gets a bit loose at times, which does cost him, and it's very unlikely that he's going to change his ways. So the room is up. I'll get myself in and I'll get ready for the lag. MrBill is in first. Another reminder, race to 14, and it's alternate breaks. Now Romario usually likes to get on with things. He doesn't usually hang about. I'm surprised that he's not in already. Oh, here we go. Lag for break. MrBill is on the right of the queue nearest me. Romario on the far side. And Romario has won the lag. So he's breaking off first. Well, that 4 ball was tracking to the pocket, but it ran into the 2. So we have our first dry break of the night. Well, there won't be any shot in the 3 ball unless Bill can thin cut this 2 and somehow get that cue ball back up the table and coming down the right hand side. But he couldn't get it. He couldn't pot the ball and do that, so he's going to leave a thin cut down the rail. Now he's going to be hampered by that 6 ball. That makes the shot a lot more difficult. But he's going to go forward off the 2 rails. Try and get the cue ball back up to the middle of the table. Oh no, he's not. He's going to stun across. Well, that's risky. And the reason I say that is because of that. The stun across was always going to have to be accurate to avoid getting blocked off. So he's going to jump this. And he's still going to be left with a tough 6 if he had got it, but unsuccessful jump by MrBill. And the first chance for Romario with ball in hand. But what's happened there though is the 7 ball is now locked against the 9, and that is a dead set combo. But Romario's ran into them, and he's hoping to get lucky, and he hasn't. Again, it was a flashy shot, but you're really just relying on some form of luck. And Romario's played a poor safety. He needed a lot of luck to get on that 6 ball. He's left Bill with the combo. And I'm just hoping I can hold out and stay awake here, because I am struggling at this time of night. I should be long past in my bed. I think that that 6 ball has just gone a bit too far. It's going to have to be really thin. Cue ball's going to be running around. Now, is he going to stay in the table? Yes, he is. Another tough one. But it's hung up. And now a really good opportunity for Romario to win this rack that he's broke off on. And he's deep in the pocket with the 8 ball. Always difficult to judge the control of this cue ball. And that needs to keep bouncing. Well, if he gets too much into this cue ball, there's a danger of a scratch. Well, he's had a blast at it, and is he going to get lucky? No, he isn't. So Romario's chance is gone already. Same problem for Bill. He's going to have to just chip the edge of that 9. He's having a look at it, just to try and use that angle in the rail to get back up the table for the 10. If he gets any sort of spin on it, it's going to kill the pace in the cue ball, but I think he's played that pretty good. That will do nicely. So Bill is going to win the rack against the break. He'll break off in rack number 2. Once again, it's dry. 3 ball and 4 ball locked up. Well, Romario hasn't got it safe, but it's still safe from the point of view of where the 3 is. Well, Bill's got lucky there. Extremely lucky. Because now the balls are all open. And Romario, well, he's got a kick off the short rail just about where the diamond is to get onto that too. If he gets it right, he could leave Bill in bother, but he's just tapped into it. And now if Bill can get the cue ball out, he'll have a chance to run the rack to go 2-0. Oh dear, he's brushed off the 4 and scratched. So straight away it's gone back to Romario. Now can he run this table? Well, I think he's only going to get himself in trouble here, because it's a fairly straightforward run out. There isn't any obstacles in the way. Any problems will be self-induced. Romario's, I think, always been convinced that he plays his best when he plays at a pace, but when he does, he gets loose a bit like that on the 10 ball. He's just left it awkward, but in it goes, and we're all square. Well, this rack is going to be over very quickly if Bill gets this jump right, because he's going to play the 110 combo. If he gets that 1 ball dead on line, the 10 ball has to go in. And that's how quickly the racks can be won and lost. So it's now 2-1. Six ball gets kicked in. And also a shot on the 1. Needs to keep running a bit. I think the angle he's cutting this at, he certainly should be able to avoid the 10 and 9 ball. he's going to run just through slightly. He can go off the rail and back out. He has to judge the pace right, so he's not risking that. Just playing a little stunt. Can he avoid hitting that 8? Again, he's got a wee bit more angle than he would really have desired. The question is whether he can still cut this 8 and stay on the 9. Well, that's why he's electing to play the bank to hold for the 9. And in it goes. And now this shot, exactly the same problem, avoiding brushing that 10 ball safe. Now you'd think he'd be very unlucky not to have a shot when he hits this 10 ball. And it's out in the middle of the table. And a pretty straight in pot to open up the gap already. Oh, Bill. Well, that is a bad error. And I wonder if Bill maybe had a bit of English on that cue ball there that he'd forgotten about, because this is a gift for Romario, an unexpected one and an unforced error. All of a sudden we're back all square. Another dry one from Romario. The balls they've broken pretty good so far. There's nothing tied up here. Well, he can stun the 3 in, leave the 4 into the top right. He's got the angle to do that. Well, now he just needs to kill the cue ball. Needs to jack that cue up a bit. Well, the 8's only going to go into that right hand corner, working at that top end of the table. It won't go past the 10. And Bill's going to have to work the cue ball here to get on it. He has the angle, but he's going to have to stun that 7 into the right middle and just draw across for the 8 if he's going to play that shot. If he plays the straight pot into the right middle and runs through, he's coming down the bottom of the table and then over to the left. Well, he's decided to take the 7 long, and that's the better choice of shot because it affords him a good angle on the 8 to come off the rail and back across for the 9, or he can just roll through. So he's given himself choices there, and it's worked out well. So back into the lead, slender lead, 3 racks to 2, and the break goes to MrBill. Well, we've lost 3 balls in the break there, 3, the 4, and the 7 ball have gone. 2 hanging over the top left hand corner, so just a gentle push on the 1 onto the 2. Needs to make sure he comes high enough for that 5. I think he's fine. Nice angle on the 6. Oh, another mistake by Bill. And he's got lucky though. And Romario isn't one for using a jump stick. He prefers to kick usually. Well, this is a thin one for Bill. He's got it. And where's the 9 ball going to end up? Well, it's going to end up straight down the barrel. But he's at the wrong end of the table for the 8. Well, there's not much point in Romario going for the bank here unless he's going to send this cue ball all around the table. And that's going to be a miscall. It banked across and went into the opposite pocket. So Bill has the choice to either play this shot or put Romario back in. And Bill's went for the difficult cut, and it might backfire on him because that cue ball's going to sit nice for the 9. And a very quick opportunity for Romario to square the match again. Well, it wiped his feet, but it's gone in. Three ball has dropped. A difficult cut on this one down the rail. Very tough. And he's cut it away. And it's left on. No problem with the 5 ball. Well, the one he's going to have to be careful with is getting on that 7. Has to get on it in such a way that it makes it easy to get down for the 9 and to get on the right side of the 9. Well, that's going... It's going into the corner past the 10, but it's tight, and this is tough. And if he takes it into the right middle, he's going to leave himself a combo in the 9, but Bill has scratched. And it's another gift of a chance for Romario. So there's been a few errors here, but surprisingly, most of the errors have come from Bill early on. And Romario is going to go into the lead for the first time. Break goes back to MrBill for rack number 8. 7 ball going in, is it? Well, it's hanging over the pocket, but the 5 has gone in. I think that 6 ball will pot, and we can see clearly it does. Well, this is a thin cut in the 2. Well, really hasn't got anything to do with the cue ball other than pot the 6. Well, he's just knocked that 10 ball right on that top rail. Again, it shouldn't be an issue, but he wants to get away from the rails here off this 8 ball, get the cue ball out into the table, and that will do. So the match is going to and fro. We're going to be back all square in a second or two. And the break now back to Romario. And a couple of balls down again. 3 balls in fact. The 2, the 3 and the 5. He's got a cut in the 1. And should be on the 4. Now, can he get onto that 6 ball? I think he's pretty straight in the 4. He might have a slight angle. And the pace on that is very nicely played. Just going to drop right onto the 6. Perfect. Now onto the... Well, even if he got to the rail, it wouldn't have mattered. But he just needs to check this cue ball slightly so that when he runs off the rail, he straightens the cue ball up. And now he can stun up for the 9 into the left corner. Oh, he needs to go further than that though. He's just made it awkward. Needed to get further up the table. Anywhere up there would have been better. But he's got the 9. So Romario back into the lead for the second time. I thought something went. Yep, 3 ball has gone. But no shot for Bill on the 1. Just trying to get behind that 10. And Romario, I don't know whether he can get past the 8 to get to the 1. Yes, he can, but he didn't call a pocket. I think Bill can get to the potting angle in that. Clearly he could. And there's 1 or 2 obstacles in the way here to get to the 4 ball. Now if he gets on this 4 ball, he should be out. And I don't think that's going to be very pretty. Well, could we see a change in fortunes here? And Could Romario be about to go 2 racks up? There's a strong likelihood if Bill can't get this safe. Bill's missed the jump. Now, instances like this, I've seen it in the past. Romario's got a fairly easy run out here, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did something daft. It's all about keeping his focus. Now the problem is from the 5 to the 6. And he's left it short. Big margin of error there to get between that 9 and 7 ball, and he's left it short. He's still got the cut, but the chance is gone. And when he starts getting loose with his opportunities, that's when he's going to lose racks from a winning opportunity, like exactly what happened there. Bill still got to get the job done from this opportunity. But it has to be said, it was a great chance. Oh dear, well there's a surprise. Bill will be glad that's gone pretty safe, but there's been certainly too many errors from Bill already in the match. And now this rack is in the balance again. And this time Romario's played a pretty decent safety. Bill can only see half of the 7 ball. And the judgment here is getting this 7 ball thin enough so that you don't bring it into play. Well, a lot of the damage with these racks has been self-inflicted for MrBill. He's made a right handful of errors already. Once again, Romario has a thin cut. He's chosen the bank. This time he's successful. And that is not going to be much good to him. This is going to be real problems for him. I don't know whether he can pot that 9 and avoid scratching. It looks nigh on impossible. Oh, he's come off the knuckle. But trying to do that, he sent the 9 offline because he was more than wary of the fact that he was likely to scratch if he played that at the correct potting angle. That's not going to get there either. So this rack is going up and down like a yo-yo as to who's going to win it. And there's the example of how difficult it is to judge getting the pace on that cue ball from deep in a pocket. But Romario has called a cut in a 10, and that's the type of things that Romario will do. I mean, he will pot them when he gets totally out of line or everything just blows to pieces. But significantly, he's got that 2 rack cushion now. Ball in the break, but no shot. So gets in a good safety. And that has worked out nice for Bill. Kicking the 1 and just brushing in behind the 6. Yeah, welcome to anybody who's watching the stream. I'm barely awake here. I should have been in my bed hours ago. Well, that's going to be ball in hand, is it? Or did I get that wrong? Yes, I did, because he hit the side rail, didn't he? Yeah, my attention span is very short at this time of night. My normal counts of mistakes by me are going to probably mount up as the match goes on. So 6-ball was called. In it goes. But MrBill has got no luck getting a shot in the 6, so out of the jump stick again. Always the danger of the ball going off the table. And he won't worry so much that he's missed it, but the 1 hasn't gone safe. And that 2 goes past to 10, no problem. Now this cue ball needs to be checked by inside right if he's going to try and come to the middle of the table to give himself a shot in the 2 that way. He's just trying to get there dead weight, and that is an excellent shot. It needed to be very accurate just to find the pace through the gap. And what's he done here? Oh, he's okay. I thought he'd covered himself on the 10, but he left himself. Well, clearly the 4-ball must have went. So Bill's got a thin one, and he needs to avoid the scratch in the corner here. He's avoided that. Cue ball running up and around for at least a shot in this 5-ball, which isn't easy. Got to get that to stay in the rail. It's off the rail anyway, so he should get it no problem. And a nice angle in the 8, so if he can leave the angle in the 9, he'll have no bother getting on the 10. Anything but straight will do. So back to within 1. And back with a break as well for MrBill. 9-ball drops in. And he's got no shot in the 1. So it's either the push out or the jump. Well, he's went for the pot. And it's an excellent pot, but he's got himself in bother. Of course, the other thing is the 3 isn't potting anywhere, so that is the lifeline for MrBill in this rack. I don't think he'll be too worried about that miss kick shot. And Romario just looking to keep it safe, keep Bill in trouble. Played it well. Just check my little doodle thing's working. It's working okay. So the error has been made on the escape there for Bill. Ball in hand for Romario. Now can he find a way? The problem is the 2 balls so far away from the 3. Can he find a way to pot the 2 and run into that 3 and 10 ball? Well, he decided against it. but he hasn't got that cue ball tight enough, so it's an easy escape for Bill. But doesn't even need to escape, he can get to the 2. Now let's have a look at this 310 here. There's not even a chance of a billiard onto that 10. And this is, well, the danger here for Bill is if he brushes that 3 and lies it on the top rail next to the 10, Romario's going to call the 10 ball here. I mean, I could see that coming a mile away. I don't think it's set, but it's well worth the call. If he gets to the rail, he's so quick at playing his shots you don't get a chance to look at it. But he's now scratched. But that was always a danger there, with Bill just brushing the 3 to the rail. It was always going to set a possibility of the combo. Well, this is none too easy either, this 4 ball, but Bill's got the chance to play a decent safety again here. I don't know whether he'll bother. No. He's going all out. Well, this is going to get him back on level terms. Well, the scratch and the break from Romario. And Bill can't pot the 1. Certainly not into any of those pockets. Just a roll into the middle. He'll be on the 2. Well, he's going to have to run around here, or just get the cue ball somewhere in the middle of the table and leave the thin cut in the 4. But if he does that, the cue ball's running back up the table again, so he's running around to try and get there. Now he can pot the 4 and just pot it softly, just to keep that cue ball from running away too far. He's got to be gentle with this as well if he's going to still hold for the 6. Oh, it's just wiped its feet. Just the weight of the ball pulled it into the pocket. So this is looking like 3 in a row for MrBill to get him back into the lead. now Bill's got the break. Is this where he's going to turn the screws and start to open up a gap? Well, he's going to have to do it second time around because he's got nothing in the break. Romario can cut the one into the far left corner. Very tough to read that shot. But in it goes. How's his luck? He's okay. Four ball is going to be the problem. And he's also now got a tough one on the 3. And that little kiss on the 4 has come in very handy indeed. Makes it very simple for at least these 3 balls. 5 and 6, not an issue. 7 is open into the corner pocket. 8 is very adjacent. And he should be out. So this is a good rack for Romario to immediately respond and keep him on track with MrBill. Back to 7-all. And Romario breaks off. These balls are breaking pretty well tonight. He gets a ball on the break. 10 ball has gone in. It gets respotted. Romario stays at the table. Thin cut into the left middle. And as long as he doesn't block himself off by the 5 ball, he's going to have a shot in the 2. And I think he can come in behind the 4 for the 3 on that. Well, he's decided to draw across 6 and half a dozen. And this is a tough one. Oh, he's hooked himself. He's out of shape. It needed another footer running on that to get across for the shot in the 4. So now he's just going to have to call a kick, but he's not calling a pocket. So Romario's opportunity's gone for the time being. 6 ball is going to be the possible stumbling block. Well, Bill was trying everything to break out the 6 ball. He's managed to do that, and he's fluked a ball. But of course, in 10 ball, unless you call that ball and pocket, it's going to have to be a miscall. Romario has the choice of playing the shot or putting MrBill back in. And he's decided he doesn't like the 4. And he's going to give Bill the choice. Now, can he see enough of that 4 to cut it? He certainly can. So that was a wee bit loose from Bill again. And Romario's dropped onto the 5. Now, is he content just to drop the 6 in? I think he possibly could, because that 6 will just drop into the middle. He's going to have to just be gentle with this. Oh, well, that's worked out very nice. Has to be careful here on how he gets to this 10 ball. If he's going to go left, he just needs to avoid the scratch and he's fine. So Romario responds with 2 fairly quick racks. And he's back into the lead. And we're now on the halfway point in this match. And the match has just been on for, well, about 48 minutes, so we are moving rapidly along. And Bill's break is another dry one. Romario has the shot in the one. Now, what's he left himself here? Well, that 9 ball looks as if it's going to the jaw if he was going to play a combo on it. But he's got it tight. Bill looking to just feather this too. And Romario will be kicking that up and down. And he's got a fair margin of error here. Well, he's managed to hit the 2. And it's gone safe. He'll be okay with that. That 2 ball was very tight. It squeezed past the 3, so he's called the 2-3 combo. Oh, that's cracked into the hole. And he's got a shape on the 2. And once again, there's a possible 2-rack lead coming up here for Romario, if he can run these balls. Well, we know where the problem ball is. If there's going to be a problem, it's that one there, on how he gets to the 7, because it doesn't go past the 9 and it doesn't go past the 10, but if he can get good, he could possibly play the combo. And trying to do everything with the cue ball, he's missed the 6. He ended up with no shape on the 8, on the 7. And, well, that was a very good opportunity to widen the gap. And Bill's got the same problem, though, with his 6 ball. And he's played that well, as long as it doesn't lock behind the 10. Oh, he's going to have to jump. But there'll be enough pace in the cue ball for it to run out off the side rail and come across into the table to at least give the cut shot in the 8. And that's worked out nice. Well, Romario's chance was there, everything there for him. And just trying to get that cue ball to do far too much caused the error. But as long as Romario can stay in the match, the closer to the business end of the match, the greater his opportunities might be in winning this match. So it's Romario's break in rack number 17. It's a dry one. Thin cut in the 1. And Bill ran into the 8 there. And it was actually doing him a favour to hold for the 2, but now the 9 balls came into play and blocked Bill's path, so he's just going to look to kick the 2. He's called the 2 into the middle, just in case it runs into the 9. Very unlikely Romario's going to run out here, looking at where that 4 ball is. Now Romario sending this cue ball all around the angles to try and disturb something. Well, he's knocked the 9 in. He's clipped the 5, which is chipped the 4 out, but he can't get to the 4. And it'll be ball in hand for Bill. Well, this is now very difficult. This is completely the wrong side of the 8 ball. It's a thinnish cut into the right middle, left middle. And he's going to leave himself a tough one to finish a rack off here on the 10. In goes the 10, and Bill back into the lead. Dry again for MrBill, shot in the 1 for Romario. He can get across for the 2. And he can get the 3. Well, he's finished off the rail. It's a very thin cut. Again, didn't spend too much time looking at it. But of course the 4 ball is out of action. It's hiding behind the 6. Can Romario see that too? Yes, he can. Now, is he going to get a shot on the 3 where he can possibly disturb that 4 ball? He's trying to come off the rail and chip the 6. He's missed that. But he's... I think he can't get to the 4. Let's have a look. No, he's locked out. Oh, good evening. Yeah, I'm up late. I'm not doing too well, as a matter of fact. I should be in bed. I should have been in bed a long while ago. It is a struggle. It's a struggle for the voice to hold out as well. Are you still Euro trucking? See, there's a new game come out in the Xbox there. It's going to come out in the PC, but not until I think November. Truck Driver. Come out in the Xbox a couple of days ago, I think. Well, there's 2 or 3 truck driving games in the pipeline. There's that Truck Driver game that is, as I say, just been released, I think. And then there's also Alaskan Truck Driver, which you can find on Steam, as well as Truck Driver, and there is On the Road, which is that German game. Well, that's not a bad thing, losing everything as far as Euro Truck's concerned, because if you reinstall Euro Truck, you know, you'll not lose your statistics or anything like that. Steam keeps all of them. But it's actually probably a good thing losing everything. It means you're just going to start a new profile from the scratch. I mean, I create new profiles like every second week, installing new maps and combinations to test them out. But MrBill has now got the gap. Now, is this the time when he breaks away, or can Romario keep himself in the match? Well, Romario's break is dry, and Bill can easily just drive off the rail there. Oh. Well, all I do when I create a new profile to test maps, I just use the if you go onto Steam, there's a junior senior money cheat, and there's also the junior senior money and XP cheat that you can use. That can easily solve your money problems and get your driver. You know, when you install the junior senior money and XP cheat, whenever you create a new profile, if you have the money cheat right at the top of your mod folder, you have to complete the first 3 deliveries, and as soon as you do that, you get a whacking amount of XP that gives you all your attributes, all your qualifications, and it also gives you every job that you get after that. You start getting, instead of just getting, you know, $20,000, you end up getting $300,000, $500,000 for a trip, and then you get to trips that will give you $1 million odd. So you'll get money very quickly doing it that way. Oh, I don't know whether they do or they don't. I've never had that amount of drivers. The most drivers I ever had was when I created one of my earliest profiles. I had goodness knows how many garages and drivers then, but that was a long while back. I spend most of my time now just testing maps. Well, this is important for Romario to get this one back and stay in the match, because Bill's gone to double figures. Oh dear, well there's the error, and that may well be a costly one. And it's now the 3 rack gap to Bill, and that is a bad miss there by Romario, and that might be dear in the end. And this is the right time to open up the gap. Bill only needing 3 more. Well, it won't be long until there is the 2 new DLCs coming out for Euro Truck and also American Truck. You've got Utah going to come out later on this year, and you're also going to get what the hell is it? The Road to something or other. I can't remember. My brain's working half cocked at this time of night, but there's new map DLC coming out for Euro Truck as well. So that means all the modders will all have to change their maps and adapt them. It's a cycle that goes on all the time. Every time they bring out new DLC for Euro Truck and American Truck, all the map modders have to change their maps and update them. At the moment I've got Wombat Trucker, who's the guy that does a lot of combination maps on his YouTube channel. I've got his huge map combo installed at the moment. I mean, that gives you tens of thousands of miles of road to drive on. A huge map of Brazil. You've got Russian open spaces, which is a big map. You've got pro mods installed. You've got Antarctica map. And you've also got the new Middle East add-on map for pro mods, which takes you down to Beirut and places like that, down to a war zone. It's looking critical here for Romario. It was always important that he stayed in this match as deep into the match as he could to give himself a chance. But it looks like Bill is finally, well, I say that, and Bill has rattled the 6 ball and he's got away with it. And unless Romario can find a way to keep this safe, it may well be a 4-rack gap, and he's got it safe. As I say, Romario, he won't change his game. He'll just play the same way he's always played, loose and open. But he's going to have to work something out to try and keep in this. He's now going to call the kick on the 7 ball, I think. He's going to kick the 6. No, he's not even calling it. Just trying to keep it tight. That's horrible. Well, Romario's used that 7 ball to expand the middle pocket, but he's very short on pace to get to the 8 ball, and he's just had to have a blast at the 8. And that cue ball needs to get into the knuckle if it's going to save him in this rack, and I don't think it has. And Bill had to try and pinch a wee bit to get that cue ball up onto the 10. That's why he missed the 8. There's a very good reason why he missed the 8 there. It was not quite as simple as it looked. But it gives Romario a second chance, and it's another tough one though. And he's got it in eventually. And he's back to within 2. And Romario, unlucky again. He gets the ball in the break, but just doesn't get that shot on the 1. And now he's called the push. Well, I think Bill will be going for the cut in the 1 here. Don't think there'll be much doubt about that. Well, if it had missed the 4 there, he would have had a shot in the 3 into the same pocket. All he's going to have is a 5-8 combo at some point. If if he can even get to the 4, but it was a really tough shot in the 3. Now, as I mentioned before the start of the match, the next scheduled match is Potman's match, which is Saturday night my time, which is I think 6 p.m. That is the match that I'm more than likely going to be streaming next. I can't even remember who Potman's playing. Let's have a look. Oh, aye, Interchange X. So that is for, well, it'll be Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, which would be 10 a.m. Pacific. And Romario has missed the thin edge on the 4. He's scratched. Doesn't matter. Bill will just be trying to keep that 4 tight. Well, he's not going to get a rail, is he? Oh, it must have just got there. Well, this could go wrong for Romario if he hit it too hard. Well, that's him now on 2 fouls. And now there's a big danger of 3 fouls coming here. If Bill can make this difficult. I think you can see enough of the 4 just to clip it though. Oh dear. Well, it's what match has been on for an hour and 10 minutes. And that's a wee bit loose from Romario. And Bill just content to keep things tight. It's another one of these kick and hope shots. Just hope the ball runs safe. And that's pretty safe, but if Bill can get this one right, he could have Romario in deep trouble again. And he's got him in bother. Got him behind the 6. That's worked out a good shot. Mario's struggling to find an angle to get to the 4. Certainly off that left rail. Sorry, not Romario, Bill. Yeah, I told you my brain's gone. I don't even know who's playing now. What, you think you're out of sync? Well, I'm watching Romario. Well, that was a bad one to miss. Now can MrBill squeeze the 5 in past the 8? Well, there's plenty of room, but that 5 ball's almost frozen to the rail. It can go in off the 8, no problem, as long as he just gets it to hug the rail. Has to just chip this in the right place. Yeah, I'm prone to do that, especially at this time of night, because I lose track. I'm spending a lot of time focusing on the balls and not seeing it change and turn. Yeah, I mean, I'm 3 hours past my bedtime. Now, luckily, I'm not at work tomorrow, which is why I'm able to get this match. But it doesn't help with my concentration. My concentration isn't that good, even in the middle of the afternoon. Because when I come home this afternoon, I had the match with Vinces, and I've even forgot who the hell was playing this afternoon. Do you know that? Vinces and Bedhead, and I had come home from work. I had a cup of coffee and a sandwich. In fact, not a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. And as soon as I take that in the afternoon when I get home from work, my next thing that I normally do is put the TV on and sit down in front of it and fall asleep for like half an hour. I have a nap, and I didn't have a nap. So when I started watching that match this afternoon, for the first half an hour, I was completely gone, as I am at the moment. But Romario is now trailing by 3 again, and pretty much at the point of no return. That's a good safety. Bill's really got only one path to get to that one. He's actually got two. He can go with spin off the left rail and kick the one, or he can go off the short rail in the top end and kick it from there. I don't think he can get it from this end of the table. He's looking to go 3 rails here, I think. Well, he's missed a hit in the one, but no real damage done. The saving grace there was that he didn't disturb the 10 and the 9 ball. And of course the 6 ball is blocking the 4. And he's going to have to be just gentle with this. Yeah, that wasn't gentle enough. Well, Bill has got the angle on the 4. If he gets the pace right, to drop up the table and leave himself an angle on that 5. Well, he's got that all wrong. Missed the 4. Run off the short rail, run into the 8 and left him no shot in the 5. But Romario's got the same problem, but he's got a much better chance of getting an angle on the 5, but he's chosen to let it run. Well, he's finished on the 5. I'll give him that. But maybe that wasn't as planned, but it doesn't matter. But if he'd got on the 5 from the bottom end of the table here, he'd a chance to break into that 9 and 10. Let's have a look at the 9. I think it might go. Yes, it does. But as I always say, you've got to get there though to get that pot. So it's asking a lot. But he has the angle. He can go around the corner. He has to get the pace right. That needs to slow up a bit. And that will do. And now he can go the other side of the 10 for the opposite corner pocket. No, he's decided to come back. Whatever you prefer. where he was sitting, he had a choice for both ways. And back to within 2. But needs a ball in the break. And he ain't going to get it. And what's more, he's left Bill a shot in the 1. Well, Bill decided, presumably, to play the safety there. Oh dear. I'm hanging on by a thread here, guys. Calling the cross bank here. And it goes, looking for a shot in the 2, but no luck. And Bill gets the escape, and what's more, he gets the cover. Well, thanks for watching, guys. This match could still go either way, depending on the outcome of this rack. Romario has missed a kick, and this time, well, it's still not clear cut from where that 5 ball is sitting. That is going to be the problem for Bill. Now this will be risky if he's going to pot the 3 and try and run into that corner there and disturb something. He's not risking it. But it's going to have to be a very good shot to have any sight on that 5 ball. And the side rail on the right hand side would be the best bet. But it needs to be accurate for weight to find that small gap between the 6 ball and the rail. And he's decided to try and get in behind it. Made a good effort at it, and he might still have a shot here. Well, I think he's going to have to just kick it in. He's going to have to try and just get to the rail and chip it. And that's what he's tried. And I don't think he could have done any better than that. And Romario's going to have the same issue here. He's going to have to pick the point in the rail and just try and cut across that 5 and brush it into the pocket. I don't know what he played there, but if he played the safety, it's worked out very nice. Bill has got the kick shot clean enough. And this shot here's the one that's going to make or break Romario. Yeah, very difficult 5. And Bill can still keep distance on these 2 balls. Well, he never called the bank there. And it's given Romario a chance. Well, he simply has to take this. He will not get a better chance than this in this rack, you would think. Oh, he's still okay. Got a nice kiss on the 10. But can he get back for that 7? I don't think the angle's that good. Might brush off the 10. He has done. Oh, now he's got it tough again. Over the 9 ball. And that just adds to the difficulty, or the degree of difficulty in the 7, because he's now out of line. Oh, it was a cracking shot in the 8. Now he just needs to take his time. I don't think he'll ever listen to anybody tell him to take his time. And even this 10 ball, this to get back within 1. And in it goes. And we might still have a match on here. Bill breaking off. 9 ball goes in. And as long as the 5 ball stays out the way, he's got a shot in the 1. And already there's a narrow gap to get on the 2 ball. Anywhere between that 7 and 8 if he wants. Well, he's run into the 7. There's no real harm done. But can he avoid hitting the 4? And that's the problem. He's stuck up on the 4. It's left him dead behind the 8 and the 10. And Bill again can see some of the 3 ball, but whether he can do much with it, I doubt it. Oh, he's played a cracking pot. Now, can he get to that 4? Well, I think he can just get there. Oh, no, he can't. He's chipped to 8. Oh, now how significant is that going to be? And can Romario keep it together and get this match back all square? And the awkward one is from that 7 ball to the 8. The 7 ball is tight in the rail. And he's just going to have to get the control of this little draw shot here. He has to come back to the middle pocket if he can. And I don't think he could have played that much better. He's just judged it very nicely. And as long as he takes his time on the 10 ball, gets it lined up, we're 12 all here. And Romario is back in it. And he breaks off. And again, no joy. Now, can Bill get back up the table for the 2-10 combo? That's what he's looking to get to. Oh, he's locked himself out. But it may well still be an attempt at a 2-10 with a jump shot. I think it's a bit tight. Yeah, it was a difficult one to judge. But the cut is on for Romario, but no shot in the 3 unless he can get right on the right hand rail. He needs to almost scratch down in the right hand corner to have a shot on that 3-ball. Yeah, didn't fancy it. Well, would have much preferred it not to run into the 6. This looks better. Well, this time it's not so easy. Bill's hampered over the top of that 8-ball. And he's forgot about his Q-tip. And he's miscued. And what a time to miscue. And Romario looking to chip onto the 9-ball. Oh, he's blocked himself out. I needed to play that a lot firmer. And how things can turn for Romario so quickly. I mean, he needed to just get the power into that to move that a lot firmer. And now he's scratched. And Bill has no shot. So he should be playing it from here and trying to get up behind the 7. Needs a wee bit of left English, I think. Well, he might scratch himself. No, he's okay. Well, the problem with that shot is he's left it very easy for Romario to kick the 3-ball. But it's all riding on luck as to what the outcome's going to be. Well, there won't be much disturbance. He's just sort of running at dead weight. Well, this is now the most crucial rack in the match. It's going to take either of the two players to within 1. Now that 3-ball is off the rail, but Bill can't get to it. And he's tried to create something out of nothing there. It was never on. And this is the best chance Romario is going to have to get to the hill. And I think his problems are straight away on this 4. He's going to hit the 10 here. But can he keep the cue ball loose? Well, it's loose-ish. He's got a tough 1 in the 5. The 6 is now locked up with the 10. That's now an issue. He's certainly not getting the easy way out. Well, one thing's for certain. Bill should be locked up behind the 10. And now the pressure is on. It's the old hit and hope. The problem with that is he's tight. Got the kick. But Romario is in again. And perfect angle to drop down for the 7. Now this has to be gentle because he doesn't want to run away too far. Oh dear. That's the old Romario shot coming back to haunt him. Has he got away with it? I think he has. What a chance. Now, does Bill think he can thin this in? I think he can, looking at it from that angle. Oh, this is going to finish in the corner. Well, how would you like this? This is tough. But Romario blew his chance on that ball there. And Bill has got the 10. And now Romario cannot afford anything more. But what a chance he blew there. But like I say, that's the type of things Romario has always done. A great, great chance to get within one there. And Bill's break came up dry, and it's another great chance for Romario if he can just get it together and keep good shape. It needs to keep running, that cue ball. And look where the 5 ball is. It needs to stay off that rail. That makes this shot more difficult because he's trying to come back for the 5. And now he can't do that. He can only run through. He's still alright. Are we going to get a final rack decider? Oh no, it's another bad one from Romario. Trying to spin the cue ball around the angles to get out onto the 7. The problem with that is when you play that spin shot, you're squirting the cue ball offline. You have to get the compensation right on the pot in the 6. And he's blew it again. And that may well be his last shot. Now that's provided Bill doesn't get himself hooked behind the 9. And is it running far enough? It's almost there. Well, Romario has had 2 gilt-edged chances to get on to the final rack, and he's blown them both. Where's the cue ball going? What the hell is happening? Oh, Jesus. I thought he'd scratched. But it's MrBill that's going to run out in the end. And in it goes. And MrBill wins a tight match by 14 racks to 12. Well, Romario doesn't want to watch these last couple of chances he's had, because they were gilt edge and he really should have put them away. But you're always going to get that with Romario. Right, guys, I thank you for your company, and we will see you again soon, and I bid you good night and take care. But if you get the chance, have a look at that Vince's bedhead match, because that was the best match in the tournament that I've seen so far. Very good performance from Vince's. So till we meet again, we will see you later.